painted those orange, yellow, red on the inside.
Yeah.
That's because they wanted people to get in, eat, and leave. It's actually hard to relax with those colors. They're very energizing colors. It's not a bad thing, right? But they're just energizing colors that make you sort of antsy and want to move and want to do things.
Okay.
Whereas like blues, greens, grays will make you want to sort of sit and be more soothed. That's why you kind of see those softer, maybe cooler colors a lot more in rooms like living rooms, right? You don't know many people with like a bright orange living room, right? It doesn't feel right.
Let's learn how our next guests get up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Looney Lewis, and today it's an honor to introduce my very special guest to the show. It is going to be a treat. Today I have Jeannie Stith. She is the founder of and CEO actually of Color Guru, where she matches people to their ideal color palette for clothing so that they can look better, simplify clothes shopping, and create a coordinated wardrobe. Well needed. Her color cards have simplified choosing clothing colors for people in 24 countries. Her course, Style Secrets, has transformed hundreds of wardrobes all around the world. Who would have thought that your outfit, your wardrobe would impact how you feel, how you show up in the day? Today, Jeannie is going to tell us all about that. So with no further ado, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, Dr. Linid.
It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to it. Tell us about your background. Tell us about a little bit about your journey.
Well, my background is actually in the arts. So I've always been interested in color. Color has always been fascinating to me, whether I was painting or doing mosaic work, or I've always dabbled in lots of different arts. And so then I became kind of interested in color from a clothing standpoint, really because I found that the rest of my house, I stayed pretty organized once I had some systems in place to keep my house organized.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of took some time to really intentionally organize my house, and I kind of wanted not a lot of clutter in my house, but I could not, for the life of me, get my closet under control.
Yeah, as a lot of women.
It was bursting at the seams with things I didn't wear, and I didn't really understand. You know, I would go through this cycle of buying things and then not really wearing most of them, and then decluttering them, you know, in 6 months or something like that. I would declutter.
Yeah.
And then my closet would feel great for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I'd be decluttering again. And I'd be realizing like some of the stuff I'm getting rid of, I never even wore, but I don't want to wear it. Like every time I try to put it on, I just don't want to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of occurred to me that the issue might not be like the answer might not be decluttering, which I kind of thought of as the answer. Well, I'll just declutter. But then I was like, wait, I need boundaries for what I bring into my closet to begin with. So I'm not bringing in things that don't end up working for me. I need to figure out what actually works for me so that I can really be consistently buying things that work for me and not wasting my money on things that sit there. Cause I just hate waste. I hate wasted money. I hate wasted time, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the idea for the color cards. I kind of lit up a light bulb in my mind. Like, well, if I were to shop with some boundaries, what would be the first logical boundary? And color made the most sense because you can sort of scan a store for your colors, but you can't scan a store for anything else. You can't really scan for fit, right? Because you've got to put it on your body.
Yeah.
You can't scan for style because you'd have to like lift up every garment. And those are kind of the three elements that come into dressing in my mind are, you know, color, shape or fit, and style. And I was like, but you could walk into a store and scan for your colors and ignore the things that aren't your colors and therefore really simplify your shopping. So I started experimenting with that idea. And that's really how the journey began for
Wow.
Color Guru.
Wow. Wow. Because I imagine not just women, people have this problem all the time, and they end up with the closet filled with clothes, as you say, bursting out of the seams, but they only wear 5 items.
Exactly.
Monday through Friday, they circulate through the same shade of color, the same outfit, because there's comfort there. There's fit. It's comfortable. It fits right, and also that it's familiar.
Yes.
Right? So you come in and you help them organize their closet, but only from the onset of buying only what they would want to wear, they're drawn to. It's almost like branding yourself per se with your clothing, right?
Yeah, it really is. And the thing is, the color palette, like we give out color palette cards that have your best 35 shades on them. And the idea is if you stick within this family of colors, you're going to look your best, you're going to shop really simply, and you're automatically going to create a wardrobe where everything goes with everything.
Yeah.
Because that was another issue I had, was I was like, well, I have this dress that I love, and then I have these shoes that are the comfortable ones, but they don't go with the dress. And I don't really have earrings that go with that dress. And, and it just was so confusing because I had like every possible color in my closet. I had lots of different colors of shoes. And when you streamline that and keep everything in your family of colors, you always, like, your tops all go with your pants, your jewelry all goes with your dresses, your shoes all go with everything. Because it applies to really everything, like accessories, everything. So it was just a total game changer for me personally first. And then I started to sort of help friends discover their colors. And then their friends wanted to do it. And it just sort of grew in a very organic way the first year or two.
Good for you. Now, doesn't that create for a dull closet?
No, because we give lots of color. So one of the things that I had wanted to create a capsule wardrobe for years prior to this. I loved the idea of a capsule wardrobe, and I would go online and I would see these capsule wardrobes and they're like, everything is neutral, so it all goes together. And I was like, I don't want neutrals. I mean, some women, very few, but there's the rare woman who genuinely loves wearing like black, gray, white, and tan all the time. But most women that I encounter and most people that we work with, that gets boring really fast. And so our color palettes have neutrals in them, but are chock full of color. And so you can have a nice, colorful wardrobe, but everything still works together.
That's magic. That is art.
Yes, it is art. There's an art and a science to this. Absolutely.
How do you analyze? How do you do it? How do you analyze the portraits? How do you analyze the person? Because you're looking at their personalities too, their skin tone. You're looking at a lot of things, I imagine.
We look at 3 things. We look at hair, skin, and eye color. And that is what we take into account when we put these together. Yeah. And so we have a questionnaire after you purchase a package. There's a questionnaire that you fill out where we ask you a lot of questions in terms of your coloring and what you've observed about your coloring, because we want to make sure that what you're saying matches what we see in the photos that you submit. Because we also require a minimum of 5 photos. Most people give us more like 7 or 8 photos. And we need all of those photos because have you ever like taken a picture of yourself outside and then you come inside and take a picture and you look completely different, right? Lighting can make a big difference. So we need to see what's consistent in different lighting situations. What are we seeing in the undertones of the skin? What are we seeing going on in the hair? What are we seeing in the eye color? Even the little flecks in the eyes and things like that make a difference from our perspective. What's your natural lip color? What color are your eyelids? Like all these things make a difference for our analysis. And so then we do an analysis of our client, and then we send them what we call a color radiance report. So it's a 15-page report where we show them why we're putting them in the colors we're putting them in. We show them color tests with their own pictures in the tests. So that they can see, oh, here's me in gold and here's me in silver. And the gold is so much better. I've never looked at them, and compared them like that. or here is peach versus pink, right? The pink is the cooler, the peach is the warmer. And oh, this one looks so clearly better. And so we want people to not only walk away with the actual color palette, but a deeper understanding of their coloring in general.
Yeah, no, this is fascinating. I feel like celebrities do this.
Yeah.
Right? So
They have
branding thing.
stylists. Yeah. The celebrities have stylists who know color, shape, and style, basically. And I always break down dressing in that way. I think if you can master even the basics of color, shape, and personal style, you can master your closet. It's really that easy. And I love breaking things down and making them simpler. That's kind of my passion. And so color, though, I believe should always be the first step, again, because it's the most simple, like efficient way to shop is shopping color first.
Yeah. And you're all about the colors, because I know you have like over 55 plants, right? You love you love having plants in different colors, different shades of it in the house, because it's good to actually see that around. Not only is good for the air, but it's good for your eyes as well, especially if you work from home, to kind of just look at something away from the screen. I've heard that you should keep something red nearby. So hence my red thing behind me, so that you can kind of most like a distraction for the eyes, because they need to see the different vibrant colors that are around. So I know you love colors, specifically with all your plants. And I'm curious, I know you have 2 girls. How are they seeing you do this? Are they girly? Are they like this? Do they take it on?
Well, it's so interesting. I have 2 daughters, 6 and 8. The 6-year-old is really interested in clothes. She always has been, ever since she was like 2. This was obvious. In fact, we tried to put her in a black, like sort of like a little boy's sweater that we had to borrow because we were with friends. It was a colder day than we expected, and they had all sons. And we're like, here, just put this black sweatshirt on. Who cares? And she was like, no. No, she was 2, and she was just like, had a strong opinion. My older one is not into clothes or color, but she is very interested in the business part of it. So I've been sharing that with her, like what it's like to build a business from scratch, and she's just fascinated by sort of the marketing and how we get clients and stuff like that. It's really cool to see how different they are.
That is nice. Yeah. You have an entrepreneur in your hand.
I think so. She's a do-it-yourself kind of girl. I think she is going to be an entrepreneur or something.
Yeah.
She won't have a boss. I can tell you that. She'll be the boss.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. It's not easy for parenting necessarily, but it's good. It'll be good in the future. I keep reminding myself of that.
Yeah. Thinking the same thing when I have kids, I would love to breed them to be entrepreneurs themselves. So I know, Jeannie, you've been doing this for quite a while. So I'm curious if your assessments are easier and faster for you to do as you get more into it. You see more clients, you get more exposure. So I'm curious if you can look at my hair, look at my skin, and tell me what are my about 3 prominent colors.
Sure, I would love to. And yes, it is very fast now because I see patterns in coloring as time goes on. So what I notice about you is you're a very interesting mix of both warm and cool. So that's the first thing I look at. Is are you warm or are you cool? And what's interesting about you, this doesn't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes, is you're a mix of warm and cool. So your skin tone is actually very warm. Your hair is cool, and your eye color is actually a cool eye color. So brown eye can go either way. It can go warm or it can go cool, but yours is a cool. And so you are dominantly cool with both your eye and your hair color, and the cool is dominating on you. So, and also I see in your lip color, I'm looking at your lip color, and I see more pink than I would see like orange or coral. And so that's also cool. So even though you have the warmer skin tone, your skin is, I would call your skin leaning warm, but you have coolness in your lip too. And so you're going to be a cool type. And in fact, you're going to be a winter type. And that is, you wear the primary colors really well. Okay. So think of like primary yellow, primary red, primary blue. If you can remember those from art class, like those really strong, clear, bright, red, yellow, blue. You also wear black and white really well. And not everybody does. And in fact, black has been sold to us as this universal color that everyone can wear, and everyone cannot wear it. I look like death in black. It's so bad in black. It drains all the color from my face. And it does that for a lot of women, but not you. You look amazing in black. So black should be one of your main neutrals. And let's see, another color I would pick for you besides the red, yellow, and blue. You wear the jewel tones really well. So things like emerald green, ruby red, sapphire blue, amethyst purple, those jewels, any jewel tone would look gorgeous on you.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your closet right there.
That's pretty. Yeah. That was fast assessment. That took 30 seconds, and you are right on. You are absolutely right. I do love bright, vibrant colors, but I can also go subtle. I can also go black. I can actually go neutral, and I will probably pop it with some red shoes if I wore all black. That's actually my new look.
Perfect.
I wear all black and then red shoes or bright orange shoes.
Yes, that's fun. That's a really fun way to do it. I love like the all neutral outfit, bright shoes, and like a bright lip color. I love that. And in our system, we have, so you're not just a winter, because we have 3 different types of winters. So we have 12 palettes total, but you would be the type of winter called twilight winter. So that's the winter with the deepest coloring palette. And so, twilight winter would be your type.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll send you a card.
Yeah, I would love
a color card.
I am intrigued now. I'm gonna go take your assessment. I want to re-engineer my whole closet, because it's not just what it does help me show up. It would help me show up in my business, in my meetings, because you do kind of tailor towards certain colors, especially if you want to feel a certain way, because colors do affect your mood. And I want you as the guru to tell us how that takes place and why.
They really do affect your mood. I mean, have you ever just seen a bright flower that just made you feel happy? Yeah. There's lots of research on how color affects our mood. And so we actually have mood colors on our cards. We have an energizing color. So if you're feeling like you need a pick-me-up and need some energy that day, we're identifying a really energizing color for you. We had a soothing color. So if you want to feel like soothed, we have a powerful color. And so we have 5 different mood colors. We have a signature color. And then let's see, what is the other one? Powerful, energizing, soothing, signature, and playful. We have a playful, fun color. And we have those identified for each different type. But, I'll just give an example, like the color yellow, which a lot of people actually sort of shy away from wearing, because if you get the shade of yellow wrong, you tend to look a little sick sometimes. So I talk to a lot of women who just say, like, I can't wear yellow, but everybody actually has a shade of yellow that looks amazing on them. You just have to get the shade right. But yellow is one of those colors that makes us feel happy. It makes us feel bright. It makes us feel energized. Right. In fact, there's a really interesting thing I read. Do you remember now they've changed this a little bit because they want people to hang out more, but in the 80s, do you remember how like all the McDonald's and Burger Kings and stuff like that were painted those orange, yellow, red on the inside?
Yeah.
That's because they wanted people to get in, eat, and leave. It's actually hard to relax with those colors. They're very energizing colors. It's not a bad thing, right? But they're just energizing colors that make you sort of antsy and want to move and want to do things. Okay. Whereas like blues, greens, grays will make you want to sort of sit and be more soothed. That's why you kind of see those softer, maybe cooler colors a lot more in rooms like living rooms, right? You don't know many people with like a bright orange living room, right? It doesn't feel right. And that's because it wouldn't feel very relaxing. It might be energizing, but not relaxing. So very interesting how color impacts us.
Yeah. Or bright red. I knew a friend that had a room and he painted all 4 walls red and he could not sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just not a soothing color. It's great in other ways, but it's not a soothing color.
Yeah. And when you go to more fancier restaurants, the lighting is low. You get the soft red, the soft orange, and it's like more calming, more soothing to
Yeah,
actually encourage relaxation, but stay a little longer. Take your time.
exactly. Exactly.
That is fascinating stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Now that is part of your morning routine because you're gonna get up, you're gonna dress up, you're
Yeah.
gonna show up. So tell us about your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
So I get up and the first thing I do is I make my bed. I started this about a year ago. I decided I wanted to be a person that made their bed.
Good for
And
you.
so then what I did was I made my bed as easy to make as possible, which was key because I didn't want like to have to like tuck all the sheets. I didn't want it to be like a whole like 10-minute process. I wanted to be able to make it really quick and have it look pretty. So I literally have like one comforter that I just like flatten out. And then I have two pretty decorative pillows that I put on the
Yeah.
bed. And that just makes me really happy every morning. It feels like you accomplish something right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Um, I get dressed, and I love getting dressed ever since I have my colors. Honestly, it just feels like a delightful part of my day now, like picking the clothes that I'm in the mood for, but everything goes together. So that's easy. And I have two more things that I do. I make a glass, like a big jar, like a quart jar of lemon water.
Mhm.
Because I am that person who always forgets to drink water throughout the day. And so this is the time where I'm like, I'm making water and I'm drinking it. I leave it on the island while I'm helping my kids get ready for school. And I just, so I know at least like if I forget, once I get into my work, I just have a really hard time remembering to drink water. So I'm like, at least I know I got that water in the morning.
Yeah.
And then this is like the mom thing I might be most proud of I've ever done, which is get my kids on a schedule for the morning. So it used to just be all over the place in terms of them getting ready for school. And it was so hard to keep track of like, okay, wait, does Violet have her shoes on yet? Or like, did they eat breakfast? Or like, and so I made a checklist and I laminated it and we use it every morning now. And they have all the things they're responsible for doing and they check them off with like a dry erase marker. And that has totally transformed our mornings.
Wow.
It really has. Like, so they know they need to eat something, they need to get their shoes on, they need to brush their hair, brush their teeth, get their water bottle filled. Like they have like 8 things that they need to do.
Parents, take note.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, like it is like a different life. It used to be so scattered and I was always trying to figure out like, where are they? And I was nagging them all the time. I still have to nag them sometimes, right? It's not perfect.
Yep.
But at least I can be like, go look at your list and cross something else off. You know what I mean? Go look at your list. And my youngest one really likes it. She loves checking those boxes. So that's working really well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the notion of getting your kids starting them early with a morning routine, with a ritual that they can keep consistent and keep doing, because then you want them to be their best self at school too.
Right. And you want them to take responsibility for some of these things, like not have it always hanging over your head that like, that you're making them do all this stuff. Like they need to see like, this is what you're responsible for, because I have enough to do in the morning. Like, I'm not going to sit there and put your shoes on for you. You're 8 years old. You can put on your own shoes, it's your job to get dressed, pick your outfit, so it's been really empowering for them. And in fact, my 8-year-old, she doesn't love the actual physical act of checking the boxes as much, but she likes seeing on paper what she needs to do. And she said to me the other day, Mom, did you think of that idea? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, you should make one for nighttime too. And I was like, oh, I should.
Night routine.
So
the morning
she's embraced it. Yes. Yes.
It starts the night before you get, because you got to have a nightly routine as well. You got to de-escalate. And so she's smart. She's picking up. Yeah. You're businesswoman. You're
right.
Young businesswoman.
That's right.
Picking up on it. That's great.
Yeah.
It teaches them responsibility as well. And so
absolutely.
I like it when kids can be independent. You want them
Yeah.
to think independently and be able to take care of themselves in the morning. And also, again, that piece of it, that it's not as chaotic anymore. The day is less chaotic. It's more calm. They can actually process their thoughts, and they can take a deep breath before going into the school.
That's right. Yeah. It's really been a big change this year. I wish I had done it years ago, but oh, well, you find what works over time, and now we'll make a night routine.
You learn along the way. Now it's time for that nightly routine. And for yourself, more of your morning routine, working out, meditation, what are some of the things that you incorporate in there?
Yeah, I always move my body in one way or another. So I will do like just 10 minutes of yoga, or there are some mornings when I can actually go to a class and I do kettlebell workouts. I just love kettlebell workouts. So I do that sometimes. And so it's either one or the other. If I can't make it to kettlebells, because I certainly can't every morning, but I try to make it 2 to 3 days a week to kettlebells. And then if not, I'll do yoga, 10 minutes of yoga, usually a video from just YouTube or something. Like I look up 10-minute yoga and there's like a million of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that really helps with my work, just to get like the blood flowing to my brain sort of in the morning. Right.
Yeah.
And then I usually do also in the middle of the day. I really love moving to music. So I just will put on like a song that makes me dance and just dance around. So that's not really morning, but I think of it as like part of the important part of my day where I just relax my body.
Yeah. And you got to keep moving. I think they said every minute, an hour, you should get up and move around. It helps with blood circulation again.
Yeah.
That's why we work out in the morning. That's why working out, even if it's not rigorous exercise, but just moving the body is part of the morning routine, because you want that wake me up feeling. And moving the body does. It's almost like shaking off the cobwebs that you've accumulated for the last 6 to 8 hours. It's important. Yeah. Because energy is, what is it? Energy is something in motion. Yeah, you gotta move. Yeah, you gotta move. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So how can we connect with you? How can we find you?
Oh, sure. So you can find me at my website, which is yourcolorguru, GURU.com. And I'm also very active on Instagram, and I'm at yourcolorguru. And if you happen to be interested in getting an analysis with me, I'd love to offer a coupon code as well, which would be best morning, all one word, best morning. And that will take 10% off of any color consultation service that we offer.
That is fantastic. Thank you for sharing that and giving us that 10% off. That's fantastic. Morning enthusiast. I don't know if you're not going to jump on this. I am, because this is phenomenal, just to actually get your color right, to know how you can show up. Literally, this is the dress up part of getting up, dress up and show up. And so we are very, very grateful that you came and spent some time with us this morning. It has been a joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.